Jonah Hex. Didn't have anything to do with it. I was just thirsty. I thought I'd drink it like you drink a bottle of beer. I like they drink in westerns. So Jonah Hex is a western comic book adaptation of the Jonah Hex comic books. No, I don't have a fancy figure like I did with Steel or Constantine, but I did mention I have seen a version of Jonah Hex on Legends of Tomorrow. But, yeah. This is different. I remember when the trailer came out for this, I was like, what is this? It says DC? What? Never heard this before. And Megan Fox is playing a whore. And I thought, well, that's not her. Little did I know. Anyway, so Jonah Hex was a Confederate soldier. So you're already on board with that one. He's a hero. Who was turned on his best friend when the guy's brother, Quentin Turnbull, turned on his best friend Jeb, played by an uncredited Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I'll have you know. Turned on him and was forced to kill him because he was going to kill other people. And now, years later, Quentin Turnbull shows up and he kills Jonah Hex's family and scars his face, like on the thing. But as Jonah Hex is trying to get revenge, they find out that Quentin Turnbull died in a hotel fire. So now Jonah Hex is just living his life, making his way downtown. In his life with his prostitute girlfriend of sorts. And, yeah. There's no mention of the town Salvation, which was in Legends of Tomorrow. And I don't know what town it is that he's in this, but I don't know if it's Salvation or not. But maybe it is. He finds out that Turnbull is still alive and seeks revenge. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of this movie, I want to point out some good things. Josh Brolin as Jonah Hex. I think he's pretty damn good. I think he's pretty damn good in the role. I like Jonathan Sketch as well. Scoochie. I don't know what his name is as well, but Brolin's pretty good. And as Quentin Turnbull, now, Jeff Fahey was a great Quentin Turnbull on Legends of Tomorrow. But it's John Malkovich. He's good too. He doesn't ham it up like Fahey did, but he's good. Then you have Megan Fox. Michael Fassbender plays an Irishman in this, and he is fantastically over the top. With the Irish accent, with the way he acts, moves around. It's like if Jim Carrey was an Irishman. That's what, he's great. And we have the musical score, which is odd. And at first when it started, I was confused because it's a heavy rock sound. Not Western, as you would think. But it works. It gave me Ghost Rider feelings. Because Ghost Rider had that heavy rock sound in the score as well. So it gave me that. And there was like a Western Ghost Rider in that, Sam Elliott was in that. So, yeah. Now, the first hiccup happened when we found out that he finds out that Turnbull's still alive, so he goes to question this dead soldier. And we find out that he's able to bring people back from the dead to ask them questions, which, as far as I know, was not in any Legends of Tomorrow. I think it's only in those two, but but he never brings them back to life to talk to them. In fact, he kills Michael Fassbender and brings him back to life again just to kill him again. So if he had this ability, why didn't he go to where the hotel fire was or try to find Turnbull's body to do that? It's never explained why he didn't do it. He just accepted he was dead and he could never take his revenge. But he literally just does that to Michael Fassbender. I don't know. He then goes to and resurrects Jeb because Michael Fassbender kidnaps Megan Fox, who is a whore. I'm sorry. She's playing a whore. Prostitute. Whatever you want to say. Prostitute. Lady of the night. The lady of the night. Keep on blowing. Couldn't even finish that. So I watched Jeremy John's review, and he said this felt like it was filmed to be rated R, but then decided to be PG-13. And I kind of got that. There's a start of a sex scene, and it cuts away. There's a couple of times where you think they could show the death, but it cuts away. I could see that. I don't know if I couldn't find anything proving it was, but I could see that. And I remember when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, this is something that could be rated R, especially his primary relationship was with a prostitute. So it's kind of that sort of thing. And they're promoting prostitution in this movie. Yet, and I saw a poster for it, and it's PG-13, and I'm like, wait, what? How does that make any sense? But, Oh, and my 20-something-year-old mind was thinking, ooh, titties, but Megan Fox never showed her titties in movies, so. And that's fine. To each their own. But, keep in mind that it's not entirely my fault thinking that, because the year prior, Jennifer's Body came out. Hey, wait a minute, Jennifer's Body. So, everybody blamed the failure of that movie on the marketing, because the marketing was sexualizing her. In her very next movie, she's playing a prostitute. Hello. I mean, come on. Anyway, so yeah, Turnbull kidnaps Megan Fox. I can't think of her name. Is it Lily? Is her name? I don't know. But kidnaps her, so he's got to go on this mission to get her back. And it's your standard Western fare with the rock music in the background as he chases down and kills people. There's a scene at a train yard against what's his name? Michael Fassbender, where he barely gets away. Like, he put 2 in him. Barely he can't die. I guess, I don't know, he put 2 in him and he survived. And yeah. And eventually, though, he kills Turnbull and then goes to Jeb's grave and apologizes to him for killing his brother. Yeah. Will Arnett plays a role in this film. Vern from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, Michael Bay ones. So that's 2 connections to Ninja Turtles before Ninja Turtles came out. 3 connections to Michael Bay if you add John Malkovich, who was in Transformers: Dark of the Moon. By the way, there's a producer credit for Matt LeBlanc. Is this Matt LeBlanc? Because that's the question. That's the question I want answered. I'm just saying. But yeah, and then on that, asked him to be Sheriff of the United States. Sheriff of America. By the way, this takes place in... Where is it? This takes place in 1786. So 10 years after America became America, after the 4th of July became a thing. And they're going to set off this huge-ass weapon that destroys towns. Have these big orbs on it, look like Dragon Balls. and they put it in and can destroy entire towns. I thought, they're talking about this machine. I thought they were going to build up like in Shanghai Nights, where it's a machine gun, but it's not. It's this weapon that wouldn't exist. It's like Wild Wild West, honestly, except it wasn't a giant ass spider, which is good. I didn't see Peter's name on this. I don't know. But yeah, so at the end of the movie, Will Arnett asked him to become Sheriff of America. He's like, all of America? One man be Sheriff of all of America? I don't know how that works. Are you gonna go town to town? I don't know, this would be just Sheriff of Salvation, which he's a marshal, the Marshal of Salvation. That's it tomorrow. But and he leaves, but he says, "Well, Arnett, you need me. You know how to find me. You know how to get hold of me." Something like that. It takes off, and he visits Jeb's grave, and honestly, this wasn't that bad. I'll give it a middle of the road, but it's really nothing. It says 82 minutes, but that's with credits. According to Jeremy Johns, it's 75 minutes without credits. So it's not that long. It kind of comes and goes. Kind of like, I don't know, a fart in the wind or something like that. It's there and it's gone before your eyes. It's a quick watch. I was surprised how fast it went. But yeah, it's got a few good things going for it. Josh Brolin and John Malkovich, and a surprisingly over the top, fantastically over the top performance by Michael Fassbender. So yeah, I tell you to check it out. It's one of those. It's one of those that came out. I'll tell you this: for something that came out in 2010, it hadn't hit the 2010ness yet. So it feels very much like a 2000s comic book movie, like something reminiscent of I mentioned Ghost Rider earlier, and even to an extent, previous one that I did, Constantine, and what could be Catwoman, which I think came out before as well. So it feels very much 2000s comic book movie feel, having come out in 2010, and like we say, early in decades, it very much follows the later part of the previous decade, so it still feels kind of 2000ish. And when it started with this weird animation thing, I was just like, is this the start of Creepshow 3? I mean, it was better animation than Creepshow 3, but not by much. But yeah, it's a middle of the road. It's fine. It's just fine. You know, so far I haven't found anything completely bad watching through these. You know, but I don't know. I'm not overly, when it comes to comic book films. I'm not overly judgy, because and again, I'm going into these. Constantine, I generally liked before watching this, still do, and then Steel I'd seen before, but I was prepared, to hate it or not like it, but it was fine. This, never seen it, just the trailer, back when it first came out, and I was surprised that it was just fine. Just fine. So, let us go ahead and roll the dice, shall we? 8. I have 8. No, I have 7. Let's try it again. 10. I don't have 10. 4. That'll do. We'll just do them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We'll just look at it here. Hellboy will all be damned. I haven't seen this movie in about a minute. That's a meaning of speech. It's a slang term. It doesn't mean it's only been a minute since I've seen it. It's, you know what I mean. It means it's been a while since I watched Hellboy. Yeah. Yes. I think I've nailed down what I'm doing for Birth Month. I kind of have to because I want to start filming after I finish this. And hopefully my situation is going to get fixed. Situation I'm in is going to get fixed soon. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Jonah Hex? Oh, by the way, Megan Fox's Southern Texan accent, terrible. That's why I didn't really say anything. She's the worst thing in this, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one. Ladder up!